Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Poor Man's Chemist. In this video, we are going to be making sodium thioarsenate, because arsenic is cool. I wanted to start this video, though, with a bit of an addendum to the arsenic triiodide synthesis. So, as you can tell, this is the same setup I had in the picture I posted there on YouTube. I have had it going now for a while. I've already harvested the first crop of crystals out of it, which is what I used to make the arsenic trisulfide, but I put some more iodine in it and I let it go for a little while longer, and I'm not really sure, but I think this reaction really picks up steam once it gets going. I mean, before, when I started the reflux, there was, like, the toluene up here had iodine in it when it was refluxing, and I mean, that's pretty typical. That was nothing, unusual there. But now, like, I put a good bit of iodine in there just a few hours ago, and it looks like it's all gone. And now I'm getting this yellowish, like real light yellowish greenish compound forming or condensing in the column. I'm not sure what the hell that is. Clearly it is some kind of arsenic compound. I'm not sure what, though. I mean, arsenic triiodide is volatile enough that I was getting it collected, it was, you could see where this part of the column here went from, like, the violet of it, the iodine and the toluene, to where it started turning more this color. That's arsenic triiodide there. So this is not any of these things, and I'm not sure what the fuck it is. So, yeah, if you do this procedure ever, I would make sure you have a pretty tall column on it. This is a 400 millimeter just vigor that's just being air cooled. But I mean, it's enough to contain any of the vapors. But yeah, don't ever do this synthesis where the vapors can get out, because I think that would be bad. Anywho, moving on to slightly less of a chemical holocaust here. So we are going to be making sodium thioarsenate pretty much exactly the same way we made the sodium thioantimonate. I would refer you back to that video. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be that little thingamajiggy up there somewhere. Oop, see, I can't even pull that shit off. I just, this is why my production values are rock bottom, y'all. I just not a great filmmaker. What can I say? Too many years studying chemistry. Anyway, so I have the solution of the sodium sulfide monohydrate here. We have our flowers of sulfur here, and our very beautiful arsenic trisulfide here. Focus, you piece of shit, on my glorious creation. I was reading up on this stuff, and as it turns out, according to the literature, and I want to stress, according to the literature, this stuff is supposed to be non-toxic. I mean, it because it's so insoluble, I guess, much like barium sulfate. Do not test this hypothesis, obviously. That could go very badly. I mean, it is utterly insoluble in hydrochloric acid, so it would not dissolve in stomach acid. It would probably just pass right through you. I point this out simply so that you can know arsenic trisulfide is apparently, again, according to the literature, much more forgiving than many other arsenic compounds. I would not treat it lightly. Sodium thioarsenate, however, is going to be pretty not forgiving, because if it's like its antimony cousin, it will probably dissolve pretty easily in water, and soluble in water pretty much equates to wildly poisonous as a general rule of thumb. Insoluble in water does not equate to not wildly poisonous, though. That is very important. Thallium chloride is not very soluble in water or HCl, but if you eat it, you will still very much die. So that stuff is somewhere between, like, barium sulfate and thallium chloride. Somewhere on that scale. Anywho, we are going to take our solution. This is 4.44 grams of arsenic trisulfide. So I've scaled everything back. This is 13.04 grams of sodium sulfide monohydrate and 20 mils of water. Really, it works out to being like 18 mils, but what the hell. We're going to have to evaporate it down a little bit anyway. So, alright. So for the first step, other than dissolving the sodium sulfide, of course, add the arsenic trisulfide to this. Boy, I really hope that not very toxic thing is true, because that's a lot of dust. I'm going to step back now. Okay, now that that possibly safe, possibly not safe cloud of dust has dissipated, at least I hope it has, I'm going to let this stir. I am going to, well, I don't know, the sodium thioantimonate, we don't turn on the heat yet, so, and it's still pretty warm. We're just going to stir it till it all dissolves. Alright, now. God damn it, did some fucking tree jizz get in there? Son of a bitch. Maybe not. Maybe it's just some shit that didn't dissolve. Just yet. Ooh, that smells. I don't know if that smells bad. If it smells like garlic, run. Alright, well, we gotta filter this fucker anyway, so whatever. Alright. We are going to add the flowers of sulfur now. Don't really care about the dust from that. Alright. Now, oh man. What is that smell? Huh. Well, my tongue hasn't turned black. That's a good sign. Maybe it's just hydrogen sulfide. Didn't smell like hydrogen sulfide, though. It was a weird, chemically burnt kind of odor. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Anywho, this is supposed to reflux, although if it's like the thioantimonate, it really just needs to heat up and get hot for about 15-20 minutes. I will come back once all of the sulfur has dissolved, and we will filter this puppy and crystallize it. Okay, so the solution is clear. Everything has dissolved. I am going to filter this now. I am not going to stand too close to this because the smell coming off of this is god-awful. It is terrible. I'm wondering if maybe there wasn't a little bit of iodide that, I mean, I rinsed the arsenic trisulfide pretty thoroughly, but maybe a little bit still made it in there, because the only time I have encountered a smell like this was when I combined an iodide and a sulfur compound before. I don't recall which sulfur compound it was, but it made the most god-awful stink. And this reminds me very much of that, so I don't know what it is. Not knowing what it is, I'm just going to be careful. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jesus, that really smells foul. Absolutely foul. Oh, wow. That is vile. Dear God, that is one of the worst smells I have ever smelled. It's almost a burnt kind of smell. Reminds me of this drug I had to take when I was in chemo called Mesna. Oh my God, that was the most vile shit ever created by human science. It smells terrible, and it smells very much like this. God, it is literally making me nauseated. I got a pretty strong stomach for chemical stench too, but Jesus. Ugh! Well, I hope this gives us some nice crystals, man. It better, after going through all this. My God. Now, we are going to evaporate down this noxious crap until we start to get a skin of crystals on it, and then we will allow it to crystallize. That's awfully brown. Man, antimony compound was a nice color at this point. Alright everyone, so this thing is done evaporating down. It was giving off the most god-awful fumes while it was evaporating down. Like, I shit you not, man. Like, this shit is up here. I'm sitting all the way back there. And I don't even know how far that is, like 15 feet maybe. And my eyes were watering, my nose was running like a fountain. It was bad. I haven't had anything do this since I made that rubidium hexaiodostanate that one time, and I heated up tin tetraiodide. Yeah, don't do that. But anyway, once I took it off the heat and capped it, everything was fine. You know, it has a nice kind of real dark orange color now. You know, it's much prettier than it was. So now that I have this vile concoction capped and it's cooling, I am going to allow it to crystallize. Last time this took a few hours, so I'm just going to let it sit overnight. It feels like it's going to be another one of those nights where it gets down into the high 20s, which for us, that's butt fucking cold. So, yeah, it should be well assisted by the nighttime temperature here. Okay, everybody, it is the next day, and you can see the absolutely beautiful yellow crystals of sodium thioarsenate that we've got here. I'm sorry the light isn't as great as it should be. It has been pouring rain ever since last night because it's winter, and what does it do in winter in South Carolina? It rains like every 4 days. Anyway, see here that these crystals look very, very different from the crystals that we got off of the sodium thioantimonate. These are, I'm not even sure. I mean, it just looks like clusters of crystals. It's very hard to even tell what the morphology is. But I am going to go ahead and filter this, and we will take a look at it one more time, and then we will be done. That is absolutely fucking beautiful. Arsenic is always so pretty. Alright everyone, there we go. Sodium thioarsenate octahydrate. You can't recrystallize it. You can't rinse the crystals. For the thioarsenate, all you can do is filter them off, press them dry. You might be able to dry them out in a desiccator some. I don't know if the octahydrate will begin to dehydrate eventually. Probably. It still smells terrible, although it's not as bad as it was when I was actually making it. But nonetheless, there we have it. It doesn't show up as yellow on the camera for some reason. It's a bit more yellow in, well, a good bit more yellow in real life. But anyway, there we go, y'all. The synthesis of sodium thioarsenate octahydrate. So, if you liked that video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, then it must suck to be you. Subscribe, comment, share the video far and wide. Donate a few dollars if you can, pretty please. And until the next one, y'all, I'll see you later. God damn it, man. I don't give a fuck. That is beautiful. That is so fucking great. I love it.